One.
Are we
All
live?
right.
Are we live?
As we're live, but let's give it like another five
Are we
seconds.
live? Are we? Oh my god, are we live? I haven't checked yet.
Let's see. Yes, we are.
We are live? Oh god, we're live. Um, Welcome to BatYard's Finest. Bringing you the best. No, well, not bad. Well, I don't know. I'm screwing up this intro because it's been forever.
We've
Give
had
me
a long last couple of days.
Well, let me take that from the top again. Welcome to BatYard's Finest, bringing you Superman and Batman news and anything with pop culture that's been coming out lately or in the past. Hey everybody, I'm Matt from Gotham, and
Hey, everybody. I'm Jerry, your Green Lantern from Ola, and welcome to BatYard's Finest Productions. We've had a very rough last couple of days. Please
oh
forgive us.
god,
It's
few hours of sleep. Work sucks. Let's just say that, guys. Work sucks. If you can get some, if you can make yourself have a good, uh, non like a personal job, your own little world. Don't do corporate jobs. They suck.
and learn to properly use forklifts.
Nah, they're fun if you don't. No, no. Oh god, no, no, no. Actually, do fucking learn how to use a forklift. If you don't, you will kill somebody. Maybe. Oh, please learn safety with it. So
Oh,
tonight's podcast is gonna be the first 4 episodes of Team 4 Stars DBZ Abridged and the Dragon Ball superhero movie that came out a couple years back. Jerry, you got any BS?
I actually have quite a few. I I'm not gonna call it X because I think it's dumb. I'm still gonna call it Twitter because people still say Twitter. So I have a couple of movie pages that I follow on Twitter that talk about upcoming stuff or things that are in production that I didn't even know were in production or
Okay,
were even at the works of it. But Tron 3 is officially in production
I heard about
with
that.
Jared Leto as a supporting cast member.
All right, at
And
least it's supporting.
I think this is gonna finally be Jared Leto's, like saving grace. I I've watched Morbius, and of course I've watched not the Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad. Honestly, Jared Leto got two bad scripts. Not even two bad scripts. He got the two worst scripts of any superhero related content. And I feel like Tron would be a good way for him to bounce back because he's a great actor. I've watched other stuff he's been in, and he does a good job. He's fun. He's very decent at what he does.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything else than literally Batman, no, Suicide Squad, and the freaking. I didn't even see Morbius, so it's like Morbius. I only seen Suicide Squad and his little was a cameo-ish thing that he did in the Zack Snyder, what's it called, Justice League movie. That's
Yeah,
really the only things I've seen him in. And I'm like, I really don't care for this character,
yeah.
and I don't. It doesn't help.
Jared Leto definitely does have a niche that he fits into, but
Okay.
it's like I've watched Morbius, and it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. But when you watch it, you can tell like he's trying his hardest. And an actor can only do so much with a bad script.
Well, he joined in DC with the Zack Snyder universe. So Zack Snyder universe is not the isn't superly well pieced together. So I give him that. And then he did join into the Sony universe, and the Sony universe hasn't been a
Oh
hundred
god.
percent great with like their Spider-Man stuff. Like because Mobius is what that's one of Spider-Man's villains, and they haven't been
Yes.
really doing anything properly great with Spider-Man in like years since really Sam Raimi did anything. They've been making more like a better attempt mixing with Marvel Studios than actually standalone. The Venom movies, you can take them here and there, but like they're not true. To me, they're not truly what they
We
could
we
be.
all know the type of anti-hero Venom is, and
Well,
while I definitely think Oh God, what is his name? I cannot think of it.
Who the guy plays Eddie
Uh,
Brock?
yeah, what is it?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Thank you. I was thinking of Jeff Hardy from wrestling. I'm like, I know that's not him.
No, and then you got Matt Hardy,
But
man. You get
he's,
the Hardy brothers.
Tom Hardy. I think he is. I think for playing Eddie Brock, he's doing a good job because he's essentially just playing a down on his luck kind of guy, and on top of that, he is, they have him as a journalist, so on and so forth.
Well, it just feels weird. Like I've seen Eddie. No, wow, Eddie. Oh God, because I'm gonna say use his character name Tom Hardy in other movies. I like him in the other movies. He did a great job. Meh, Bane. It was a good attempt. Different weird direction of the
Yeah,
character. Um, but like he did bring a character to it and some kind of like design like difference to it. But like Eddie Brock, like it just feels weird because it feels like they changed up the character more because they're not really playing with the whole universe, and they're like
yeah,
made him more down on his luck where he more was a cocky ass, and he literally basically like made fun of and ridiculed Spider-Man mostly, and not Spider-Man, I mean Peter Parker, and like treat him like a like shit, saying,
he
"Oh,
was a
I'm
bully.
better than you," blah 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 blah. And then Peter Parker started getting like all those fucking photos of Spider-Man, even better and all that stuff, and he became like, "Well, fuck you," blah. And then he got more on his down on his luck because he was not making enough fucking like money bringing in photos of like everything like what's going on in the world. So like, it's a different change. Like he's now because they don't use Spider Man. They don't have a Spider Man in this universe technically. So
It's weird.
it's a
Um,
different take.
let's see. Tron 3 was a big. Tron 3, Deadpool 3 is wrapping up its production as we
I've
speak now.
been liking this. I've been liking some of the photos I've been
I've
getting
been
from it.
seeing a couple of behind the scenes things. Hugh Jackman still in very very great shape. He looks great in the OG Wolverine suit, so I'm excited to see that.
Hmm.
Ryan Reynolds is still being Ryan Reynolds, selling
Yep.
Mint Mobile ads to people.
And don't forget, I think he has a tequila company too.
No, that's The
No, not
Rock.
tequila. No, 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 no. He has no. He has a gin. It's gin.
Eh, I'm
He has a gin
I
company.
might try it. I tried The Rock's tequila. It was okay.
I'm not
Not my
into gin
favorite.
or tequila, so I won't be trying it. I'm sorry.
Um, what else? What else? Oh God, I had a Until Dawn is getting a movie release. I was very surprised by that because it's it's one of those video games I was not expecting them to get a movie. I'm not upset by it, but I haven't looked too much into this.
The thing is with Until Dawn,
Uh,
I see you, big booty dandy. When is
we do
Deadpool 3
not
gonna
know
supposed to
just
drop?
yet. I
I'm
think
gonna
it's
Google it
sometime
right now.
25, right?
I thought it was supposed to come out this year, summertime, but I remember them pushing back dates.
Yeah,
And I think you're right, it got pushed back in the 25. But back to was it
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn? I was gonna say Dead by Daylight. Until Dawn, like I played that game. I know Josh actually beat the game. I there's too many different endings and like
I
what's it
think they
called?
might go with
Endings
I think they might
and
pick a
rounds.
unified ending that
Hmm.
can encompass everything that they want to do. Because I try playing Until Dawn, I'm not a big fan of that style of game where it's kind of point and click on console, but also the fact that you have what is it? Not key moments, but Carmack moments
Hmm.
that decide essentially what route a character will take. And I like watching streamers and people upload it. And I think it's fun seeing them do that as opposed to me sitting down and trying to do it because I'm very, all right, I want to go get immersed in the story and I want to go look at everything and I
Yes,
want to be able to do things my way.
true. It's spooky as fuck. I couldn't do it. I hear you on that. It does get a little crazy at times. But to answer your first question, Big Booty Dandy, the movie for Deadpool 3 will be coming out July 26th of 2024. So this year. Um, because of setbacks, it was pushed back and all that stuff. Originally, it was set for September, then later November of last year. So because of the strikes and all that stuff, so it's
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
But was it making choices like that gives me anxiety? I hear you on that too, but like at the same time, I just tried killing everybody because I just gave up. Some of them I hated the characters and the stupid lines they would say or like their voices, so I try to get rid of them. I think me and Josh did a run at his house once just for shits and giggles because he wanted to show me the game, and we tried to kill somebody with the sickle, yeah, the icicle in the beginning of the game,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think it wouldn't let me or something like that. It was something I think we did something wrong, and it still let us like let the guy survive. And I was like, "Fuck."
Two other big movies that are coming. Dune 2 also just started production. They could
Hmm.
have kept that. I know Dune is a very good book from a podcast me and Crispy listen to called Tales of the Stinky Dragon. Who, Crispy, don't forget they're having their 8-hour D&D live stream episode tomorrow.
8 hours?
Yeah, 8 hours.
How am I gonna do that?
I forgot to get like buy merch and a first membership because well this is side podcast stuff, but there it's a really fun D&D podcast if you want to
We're not
get really
plugging, but we are
immersed. We're
plugging.
not we're not sponsored, but we're plugging because it's a fun experience if you've never played it and you just want to get like a general idea of how it is. It's
Hmm.
math, a lot of improv, and a whole lot of
Bullshit.
just a whole lot of chaos.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's beside the point. Doom
no.
2 is starting production. I like I said, they could keep that. I have not heard good things about the movie. I know in
Okay,
the podcast one of the players read the books and he really loved it, but he said the movies fell flat, which does typically happen with book adaptations of movies. And
second
then
class.
also they're doing a Michael Jackson biopic. And my biggest issue is we already got that with This Is It.
True.
And This Is It basically, gave us the whole rundown of the Jackson household and, essentially everything Michael had went through and how he
Mhm.
essentially was trying to, live out his adult life as, a child because he didn't get those things, all the issues he had with the showbiz and whatnot.
Mhm.
And then, some other background drama that nobody would have even thought of, and they're going to have him be played by his nephew Jafar Jackson. I think's his name. I know it's Jackson.
Okay.
I just think it's Jafar. I saw it in passing and forgot to look deeper into detail about it, but
I'm
that's
just
neither here nor
I'm
there.
just trying to figure out who's gonna be casting him throughout the whole movie, like all the different, unless they're doing a lot of makeup and everything.
I guess I
That's a lot of makeup.
personally I I don't have a problem with the biopic because, I'm sure there's going to be more details that they add in that, the family didn't want put out originally that they're like,
Mhm.
you know what, go ahead and do it because, Bob Marley's getting a biopic.
Is that coming
Elton
out
John.
soon though?
Yes, actually. I think that's coming out in the next few weeks
Yeah, I
or
remember
next.
I've been seeing more trailers and more posters for Marley.
Yeah, I think
So
they're getting one of his grandsons to play him, which I think is really cool because, if you know a little bit about Bob Marley, he has a lot of children, most of which he adopted. So
I didn't
he's
know
got a
that.
big island heart, and I think I might go see that one. The only musical biopic I've seen was Queen for the story of Freddie Mercury, and that was definitely an experience because there was things like you just listen to the music and you never know, but seeing it and actually learning, you're like, oh, this is really what it was like at a very dark time in LGBTQ America.
Mhm.
because he was, well, I'll give a, just a very light, quick thing. But he, we all know that Freddie Mercury had HIV/AIDS because he was a gay man, but he was also struggling with sobriety, and he was being kept high and whored out by his boyfriend at the time, who essentially was closing him off from people who, cared about him, loved him, and was like, Freddie, what do you, we've been trying to get in contact with you. What do you mean you haven't got any of our messages, any of our letters? Like, they adamantly tried their best, like, Freddie, we still want to have you in our lives. We just need you to get clean,
Mm-hmm.
And it was, even still, like, thinking about it, I'm trying to fight back the tears because I don't care what anybody says or your personal feelings on it. Anybody being hoarded out like that and then getting an incurable disease, that's just,
It's fucked
that's
up.
just a certain type of malice. You can't just put a lid on. And I don't know if this was for just the theatrics of the movie or if it was actually true, but his boyfriend had done an interview on TV where he was like, "Yeah, Freddie Mercury is gay, and I was trying to, help get him clean and keep that private life to him secret, and he tried to come on to me a few times, and he was essentially telling these gross, gross lies about him and altering the truth so much in the public's image. But even with all of that coming out for the big fundraiser and relief concert that Queen was a part of, people still showed up in droves because they wanted to see Queen again. People were like, we don't care anything about that. We want to see Freddie Mercury again. And it was, if you've never seen it, I would recommend it. It's one of the few biopic movies that I think everyone could learn a bit from.
I only seen clips of it. I haven't finished. I haven't actually tried like to actually watch it. And I know there's that. Was it there was another one they did not that long ago too. I think it was like right after that was
I think
what's
that
his
one was
name?
Elton
Elton
John's.
John. Yes, they did his. Hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to see it because Elton. You can't be a child in America and not know at least 5 Elton John songs.
And if you don't go and just watch a good movie that's actually out there, Kingsman 2, and he stars in
Mhm.
it, and and they play like at least 2 of his songs in that movie.
Yeah, and I think the main reason I didn't go see it in theaters is because, okay, when I think of a biopic, I think of a person of interest who has departed this world and passed on,
Hmm.
and they're doing the biopic to tell their rise to stardom and their struggles. And with obviously with Sir Elton John still being alive, I'm thinking I don't want to go watch it because I don't want to jinx it and have him die at a really pivotal moment where we're having just a lot of celebrity deaths, which we've had several of.
Well, I know during the what's it called? The first Kingsman, he was going some like through some illness and all that stuff that he was going
Yes,
through. They wanted him in that one. And so he was getting kind of like a I don't know if it was like a scare, but he was getting like through a weird period of time with his illness that he was dealing with at that time. But other than that, then that's why he came in. Like he actually jumped on to the second Kingsman movie because he was able to join it. I didn't go see it because I didn't have anybody to go see it with, and I didn't want to go by myself.
I would have went.
You're in Tennessee.
I would have flew up. No, you got to fly down. You got to come to
Ah!
the theater down here so we
Oh,
can
it's
get a
true.
beer and I
It's
show you what
true.
the bar is like.
It's true. Josh beat me to it. I haven't been there yet. This year's already booked. We're gonna get Jerry to what's it called? Come up here for the anime NYC that's actually happening in August. Yeah, we got a pack of people going down there for the
It's
expo.
gonna happen. I'm gonna make another trip up to New York, and we'll finally get all the BatYard family together.
I have a feeling that you're gonna sneak up to New York while we're in the expo in New York City and not tell us because you
God,
know
I
what
wish I
hotel we're
could.
trying to go for.
I wish I could, but I'm booked up down here myself.
He's lying to me.
Um,
Definitely lying.
Trying to think. Oh,
Oh,
other very big news. I saw earlier while I was still at work eating on my lunch break, Microsoft did a huge layoff of some of Xbox and Activision workers of about I think 1,900 or 2,000 people.
See,
And yeah, I'm like, y'all just did this huge legal battle to acquire Blizzard, and now y'all are an Activision, and now y'all are letting basically 2,000 people go.
well, dude, they haven't been making good money off of
No,
any of these purchases. All the games that they've been bringing out
it's
actually
been
been doing
mediocre.
poorly. I'm not gonna lie. Call of Duty, meh. Well, last Diablo, I was so excited, but at the same time, I was a disappointed person at the same time
They
because they the story could have been great and they gave us more to it. And then if
too many
this
cinematics,
what's true, and they give us more gameplay of it, and like what's it called, and they had a good
character
thing going
balancing,
with three.
character
Diablo
balancing.
3 was great. It was good. And for a console game, for us console players that never played two, because two is supposedly the superior one, we played the remaster two. I'm not gonna lie,
I
story's
didn't.
cool,
I hated
everything,
the game mechanics.
mechanics poor.
Story is definitely a 9. Like
Yeah,
I would put 2 story over 3, but
mhm,
three's mechanics and gameplay are easily a 10
yeah.
because it has so many positives with no negatives. Outside of the hacking and item injecting that people were doing,
Well,
but that's
yeah,
a community
that's
issue.
that's the
You
thing.
can only control so
Yeah,
much with that.
but but two was like came out in like like the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, like what,
They
98,
I want to
97,
say
something like
that
that.
I actually have the original game over here with the DLC. Not the original. It's the DLC bundle because I was trying to. They said that before I got a PC. I can try to play it on the PC, but I shouldn't try to be it because it's not going to work maybe.
It's
But
not gonna
anywho,
run.
I was told that I could probably make it work because I had a PlayStation 2 and the discs were technically the same coded, and I could run the game on the PlayStation 2.
I've
So,
heard that. I've
but it
also
didn't
heard
work.
that.
Did not work. So, F you, Blizzard, for not making that. No, it's fine. But like, no, but they brought two's mechanics from the old game to console, like the newer consoles, that does not work, and a lot of people don't like the newcomers that went from just three, then went forward and made it to this remake and four. We didn't know how. We don't like the situation with the items and all that junk. That the wheel was way better instead of having an item bag that we had,
Oh my
but
god.
we are rambling about other things and we
We're
should
gonna
be,
save
but
this for another bonus episode.
yes, we can talk about games or something like that.
It's
But
we'll talk. I have something to comment on that, but it's an off stream
this
thing.
guy, he already has plans before we make
I don't
plans.
have the plans. Our moderator does, and I know she's
A
watching this.
moderator, big booty dandy, has ideas.
She's on payroll for a reason, folks.
The
But
check's still in the mail. Want to say, no, last thing for me, I just want to say because I'm a Godzilla fan, I'm gonna drop that. Minus, what's it called? Godzilla minus one is coming out in black and white. They're dropping it as Godzilla minus color.
yes.
So that's gonna be the newest thing. It's coming out
Oh,
literally the 26th to February 2nd. You only get a week. That's
you
all
know
you
that it
get.
has a free RPX upgrade for no upcharge.
I
I just got the email from Regal about it. Check yours
don't know if I have. Do I have?
because I know not every Regal has an
I
RPX.
don't think I have RPX of mine. I don't know. I need to check, but
Check
I don't
because
have.
I'm definitely gonna go see that in RPX. That is my favorite format.
I'll have to see. I don't think I do. Me and my dad are definitely planning. We're supposed to go with Steve. My dad and Steve are supposed to have a date. I'm just the third wheel watching them, making sure there's no funny business between both of them. So yeah, we're gonna try to work something out, but I don't think it's gonna really work out with Steve's work. Everybody's work schedule, so I don't know. But I'm gonna definitely me and my dad are definitely gonna fucking going.
Oh yeah.
But Steve is gonna be on the other hand. I have to say sorry, Steve, if you're watching. You should be on this podcast right now, but you may have to go see it by yourself. I'm sorry, or I have to see it twice with you, my dad. I mean,
I know
4
I'm
freaking
definitely gonna
times.
take our moderator to go see it. I think she would enjoy it in the black and white context.
Oh, dude, black and white. I saw a trailer for it, and it looks
Oh, it looks
amazing.
fantastic.
Looks amazing already.
The
I'm
the
already happy.
detail is more pronounced
I'm
on
not gonna lie.
Godzilla in black and white.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of movies look a lot better in black and white than actually in color. But and then including the Apple series, what's it called?
Monarch.
Monarch. That
So
has came
jealous.
to an end a few weeks back.
So jealous. I
I
can't watch
still need to finish watching it. So I've been seeing spoilers anyway, so I'm not upset. But I still need to finish watching. I've been occupied, like we all been saying in the beginning of this. Work
Oh man.
sucks. So, Jerry, you want to take away with Dragon Ball Bridge?
I'm trying to think if I have anything else to close up with.
Okay.
I know those movies were the biggest one, and that massive layoff, which was extremely surprising. Trying to think.
Oh, I heard another thing before we go. We were extending the BS. My brother told me to make this 2 hours, so we're gonna keep random. No, so well, we're gonna like one more thing is like I heard Xbox is finally killing off Xbox 360. The marketplace is finally closing on it. That's
It's
my
still
rumors.
open.
It was been going on, and people are getting upset with it because supposedly there's a law out there, so they have to archive games for like future on things. But Xbox isn't doing that, and they're just saying "fuck you" and just deleting all those games that are
Yes.
on fucking the
They
store.
had a lot of
They
prime
had a
games.
lot of games. And if you
That's why
don't
we can't find Gears anywhere.
yeah. So, well, you only can get Gears Ultimate Edition, Gears 4, and Gears 5
I wish I
on
still had my
PlayStation.
Xbox because I had every single Gears on it.
I still have an Xbox, and I still have a hard drive, I think, somewhere around here. My cousin's using my Xbox right now. But
Mm.
yeah, no. Gears of War, if you have the Game Pass,
Boo.
you may get lucky with some backwards compatible Xbox 360 games. Mostly Gears of War should be on there, but anything else that's not backwards compatible that was 360, you're fucked. So that's what I've been hearing.
That's
So
I
people are
hate
kind of
that.
outraged about that too. And if you do have a physical copy of your game still, supposedly the rarity will go up in a few years, and like every other kind of game, because Microsoft is a fucking stupid company at the time. They will try to terminate you, but I'm using Apple right now. Yeah, I plugged in a company for no reason.
But I know that was it for me. I was looking back through a couple of notes. I don't have anything else. So I'm ready to jump right into the shorts, which
Okay, cool.
is episodes 1 and 4 for Team Four
Yeah,
Stars
1, 2, 4.
Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Oh
But before
yeah.
I get into that,
Oh no.
Crispy, how much have you gotten into? How much do you know about like early 2000s parody content on YouTube?
You know, I never looked into the parody bullshit. I never did. Like if I did, I stumbled upon it and I didn't know
Okay.
what the fuck was happening. I got more in the parody stuff later and like later on, and once I became more like became friends with you and like more like Billy and Jimmy and Steve, they showed me more parody stuff that I didn't even know of. So Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I probably saw clips, but I've never seen all of it until you guys wouldn't shut the fuck up back and forth like for a month and a half of just saying Dragon Ball Z Abridged quotes.
Nope. Okay. Perfect. Because this is a great segue.
Oh no.
I mean, I'm gonna obviously this does tie into Dragon Ball Z Abridged because
Okay.
it is a part of the parody culture. But episodes 1 through 4 are episodes made and dubbed by the great, phenomenal voice acting team of Team 4-Star, who made this back in 2008. And episodes 1 through 4 are essentially the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, which, starts off with Goku taking his young son Gohan to go meet Krillin, Bulma, Master Roshi, Yamcha, and
Isn't this like the Saiyan series?
it's right before the Saiyan saga. It's like,
yeah,
that's why I say it's like the intro.
it's like the Raditz saga. Like
Yeah,
it's like
it's the Raditz arc.
yeah, it's like Raditz, the 4-episode arc for Abridged. Like how
And
many?
it
I think it
is,
was like 10 episodes for probably Raditz.
I think, yeah, I think back in the original show, they had like maybe 10 or so.
Like up to 10
It's
episodes.
weird because the pacing for it was
It
kind of all over
depends
the
on which
place.
one you watch. If you watch the original, you got like up to 10. If you watch Kai, you probably 5.
I think it was
Like
like 4. It was,
so,
they cut out a lot of the filler stuff.
yeah, true.
But it starts off with, as I said, Goku going to meet, obviously childhood friends that he grew up and trained with to introduce him to his son. And then that's when we also see a farmer who is who sees Raditz Saiyan pod crash down in the earth, and he has the great voice line, "Oh no, my marijuana patch." He's like, "Oh wait, I mean my lettuce patch."
Yes.
Yeah. And then from there, obviously, there's a lot of really great lines that I want to save for after the brief synopsis.
What would a good American do? I'll grab my gun.
And so Raditz goes, he steals Gohan from Goku, beats the hell out of him. That put it back in perspective. Goku was not always the strongest, like people want to believe it, because Goku was at the bottom of the totem pole for a long time. And Raditz proved it because he came in and was just fucking everything up. And so
Big Duty
Goku
Dandy, I'm sorry.
enlisted.
Stop saying emojis. We can't freaking see them. They just give us like definition of what you're sending, a description. I'm sorry, Jerry. I said whoop face with tongue out.
But after Raditz steals Gohan from Goku, Goku enlists the help of Piccolo, and from there they manage to defeat Raditz by having Goku act as essentially a kamikaze to hold Raditz in place while Piccolo charges up his special beam cannon. I'm not going to try to say the Japanese version of it because I'm going to butcher it, but they succeed. Piccolo takes Gohan to begin training him because of the other incoming Saiyan threat, and Goku, while in Otherworld, makes his way to King Yama to have his soul sorted, whether he's going to go to heaven or hell. But while also there, Kami tells King Yama that he needs to go train on King Kai's planet so he can be wished back by the Dragon Balls and so on and so forth. And along the way of Goku making his way down Snake Way, he falls asleep and is knocked off by a cleaning apparatus. It's not a vehicle. It's literally like an apparatus.
I know, but just call it the clean truck.
I just cleaning vehicle.
Truck.
And Goku ends up in hell where he
rightfully belongs.
Goku ends up in hell with 2 ogres who are German fitness instructors who are going to get him buff and lean.
Aren't they brothers in the original series? Aren't they brothers?
I think it's been so long.
I believe they're brothers, and in this
they're
one,
brothers. And if they're not brothers, I think they come, like from the same tribe.
Yeah, but like in this series, they actually said "fuck that" like brother background, and there's now German fitness lovers. So, and I can segue after this. Jerry can finish.
But after Goku escapes the German fitness instructor demons of hell, he makes his way back to Snake Way and continues going to King Kai's planet. and that's episodes 1 through 4. They're very short. I think the longest one might have been
I think
15 minutes or something.
no, I think it's 7 minutes actually. I
I know
think
they
it's
had
15.
one that was double digits, but
I
I can't remember
There's
where
a
it fell.
few out there, or you find the collaboration ones that merge like a couple episodes together that they did, or like other people have done for them. But yeah, that's the 4 episodes. I just love how Piccolo is on MySpace and his only friend is Tom,
Yes,
and he gets
it is.
tricked. And he gets tricked instead of getting like actually like brought onto the team to go get freaking Gohan. He ends up just getting tricked into, I'll be your friend on MySpace. All right, Tom, move aside. I got a new friend. And I'm just like, what?
Re-watching this, it was so memory lane. They had MySpace. Oh my god,
Oh,
they
dude, it's
made
like that's the
reference
time.
to Piccolo being a Yoshi because he came from an egg. And then also the fact that none of the English viewers know what the hell any of the Japanese moves are or sound like. Because all while Piccolo was charging up, he was like, Matsu Mitsu. Oh, fuck it. And then
Yeah.
he just says the infamous special beam cannon. This is such a great time capsule to always go back to.
I do love when they were fighting Raditz, and he's just like, Piccolo was like, stop saying your moves out loud.
Yes. Oh my god.
And Goku's just like, yeah, I should not do that. Like, it's just after he gets his ass kicked.
The voice
Oh
acting that
god.
they put in, as simple as it was, you honestly could show that to somebody, obviously, minus the edits that they put in, and you could get the same experience from regular Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z Kai. I personally don't like the voice acting in Dragon Ball Z Kai, but that's just because I grew up watching the original.
Mhm.
It's not that I think they're bad, it's just I remember what the voices sound like, so hearing somebody different is not always fun. I heard that
Big
there was a
Booty
glitch with
Dandy
Game.
segue
Oh
backwards to
yes,
BS.
she's making a reference back to the BS with the Game Pass, and she said that there's a glitch with Game Pass where if you don't pay it on time, you could get locked out, and there's a chance you could lose your save file on games. That's why Xbox sucks.
Yes, that's another thing too, yeah. And if you don't pay it, they will add a bill to you and won't let you do anything until you pay your bill, even though you didn't use the Game Pass. Trust me, been there, done that. I didn't
Yep,
pay it, didn't use it. Why am I fucking game build? Whatever. I understand. They need the money,
bozos. Okay,
but
so
it's too much
Christian,
anyway.
I have to know: have you ever heard of Little Karibo?
Little Karibo. No. Well, I know what a Karibo is.
So Little Karibo is another parody
Is it
content
Yu-Gi-Oh?
creator. He does Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. And
Okay.
he was, when people think of abridged content, they think of, I'm obviously I only watched Team Four Star because a girlfriend I had at the time introduced it to me. She said, do you want to see 8 minutes of just absolute fucking chaos with Dragon
Oh
Ball Z?
god.
And I'm like, wow me. And I was. But Little Karibo, he did Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge. I've seen clips of Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge. It's not really my cup of comedy, but it's still good. I'll still laugh at it. Just not the first thing I'd cut on.
I don't the thing is like I've tried other bridges, but like I just don't get the same vibe as Team 4 Star does
Team Four Star
because
put a lot, and I mean they put a lot of
I
heart and
know
effort into their
like
stuff.
you can understand like how they you can get the feel from it. Like they treated this right. I watch other things and people are just trying to be funny and like being ass with their parodies, and I'm like, Teams 4 Star like took it. They knew what was like terrible about the actual show and brought that out to the light, but at the same time try to make it work and make it look great instead of
Hmm.
shitting on it all the time. Like they just had a ball, like just changing it up and having fun with it. But they would bring out the flaws of like, yeah, we take forever doing things in the show, like or Krillin
Yeah,
just dying or failing at anything he
all the
does.
time,
The count,
and it
the Krillin gets own count. Oh
I'm
god,
so
it's
glad
great.
that you brought up the love and care Team 4-Star put into it, because essentially some of like for me the two biggest pioneers for abridged content on YouTube is Little Karibo with Yu-Gi-Oh the abridged series and Team 4-Star, because I don't know when Little Karibo came out. I believe it was also around 2008. So
Okay.
that was still also when YouTube was still a little bit of the Wild West, not as much when you could find um, more crazy content. If you were,
Safe for work stuff content.
if you know, you know. That's all I gotta say. If you know, you know.
Oh
But
god.
they essentially did help build up the parody community, because Team 4-Star, obviously, outside of doing not only Dragon Ball Z Abridged and Dragon Ball Z Kai, I think for like 1 or 2 episodes, they've also done Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, and they
That's a good
also
one
do
too.
voice acting work because they are in the Dragon Ball Z Universe 2 game. I know one of them is, I think it's Lanny Patur or maybe Kaiser Neko or Takahata 101. It's
Okay.
They have a very large team, so it's hard to keep up with everybody who does the voices. But that, that still goes to show they went from making fun of essentially the grandfather of modern shonen to being voices for it, which I think is the greatest turnaround,
Well, that's
as
the
far as
same.
content creation.
Well, that's the same way with Red versus Blue, the Rooster Team. That's technically a parody of
I
the
never
Halo
got the chance to watch
universe.
Red versus Blue. I
So Red
watched
versus
Split.
Blue, they so many seasons. I think they went up to like 14 to 16 seasons, and
Jeez.
the character models got better and better. They actually got actual like actual
Wait a
movie
minute.
like scenes and everything.
You said
That
Rooster Teeth did this?
Rooster Teeth did it.
And Rooster Teeth also does Tales from the Stinky Dragon.
Yes.
Second plug.
Oh
We're on the
god.
roll.
So, but Rooster Teeth did the whole parody thing, but they did such a great job, and the community loved Red versus Blue's parody universe that Bungie and 343 Industries started adding certain characters of voice actors into the game as like here and there minor people, and you just get random things, or they would add like their names into like DLC, like new updated content. Like I think there was a Caboose character skin or something like that, or what's it called, like AI something. It was something. They brought in a bunch of things. They had like the character Tucker and I think Simmons, their voice actors came and play all
Oh,
these
that's cool.
characters into like the games. You just randomly will find them through it all. If you look for or just pay attention to certain Marines that are just hanging out, you'll find them there. So like the parody universe gets you somewhere if you do it
I did
right.
not. I know of Red versus Blue because I've seen it recommended. I've just never made time to watch it.
Just try it. It's actually a fun show.
That's what
Um,
people say. Like, it's if you
once
want to have fun with it, watch Red versus Blue.
I would say once it hits like season 10, it kind of starts. It's just so much that we can like so much you can handle. I know it's like if you watch those things, it's like they do compress them down to like an hour long video, so you don't have to keep finding episodes. They're like almost hour and a half videos of like how much they have of content.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, Rooster Teeth has been around for a long, long time, so that does make sense.
I think they're as old as freaking Team 4-Star pretty much. I think they've been around since 360. No, that's I think they had 360 time
Wow.
because they do use I think the model for Halo 1 for their edit for their show until later on they progress. But yeah, they've been around. They do all they yeah, I think the same amount of time. I think their actual company was a little bit earlier, but bullshit they like did with videos came
Hmm.
around then. But back to Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
There's a lot that goes into, obviously parody content, because you can't mention one of the greats, not even one of the greats, but one of the top people without mentioning other people, because without one, there wouldn't be another.
Yeah.
And not to say that it wouldn't be that way, but they all, excuse me, I'm starting to eat dinner now. But they all came in around the same time that, oh, yeah, we've got great, great content. And it inspired everybody else to come in and make more great content. Because, I mean, look at what Dorkly did with Pokemon Rusty.
Oh, God. Darkly, but that's later on. They came around
That's much later,
Yeah, it was
obviously.
way later on, but they had class to it too. They weren't like being super like dumb with it. They did the same thing like with like Team Four Star, but in their own little way. They had a ball of it, and they did their own thing. And I think they actually brought in like what's his name? What was the original guy from the original three games? Was he just called Red?
Jason Page.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about red, blue? It's hard to remember because each game,
Had a different
each color is a different person.
Yes.
So it's like, no, it was red. It was red.
I believe it was Red, and they use Red. He does show up here and there, and says, "What the fuck do you do? Like, what did you do? Like, the heaviest thing in the game, like in the show, like, and like peanut. Oh God, peanut butter. The super Bidoof.
Yeah.
Oh
Big Booty
God.
Dandy, I already mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged and Little Karibo. Just go back to the timestamps. That don't exist.
I think we have to deduct the pay out of this because she's kind of behind. Oof.
But
Just
definitely Team 4-Star, just to get back on track with them, they, in my opinion, they did set a standard for what I enjoy with parody content. Because not only did they not do anything extremely vulgar or anything not necessarily out of pocket, but something that's so far into the humor, you're like, what was the point of that? That didn't even make sense. Like all of the content that they've done with Dragon Ball and for Dragon Ball has been tasteful. It's been great. They finally did the Boo saga after, years of fighting copyright strikes from Toei Animation, who I also have my gripes with because in the very beginning of their episodes, it's like a full 45 seconds to a minute, I believe. They say this is a fan work. This is not affiliated. Like it's a whole just ad read saying we don't own the rights to any of this. This is parody content. Please support the official release by following them here, here, and here. Watch this, this, and this because it's the original content. But they also did, face several copyright strikes, which burned them out on several future projects. And they were like, you know what? I'm done with it. I got to wash my hands. Which, once you go through a long legal battle for something that you're putting your heart into and is essentially your livelihood, you do want to go away from it because it's a draining process. And I can only imagine, especially in the earlier parts of YouTube, when somebody would copyright strike you for a little bit of nothing. That would be the most heartbreaking thing as a content creator, because there's another person who does Dragon Ball Z content. His name is SSJ9K. His stuff is funny, but obviously he does have his own charms and spins on it. And again, it's not anything extremely vulgar. He does parody music videos with the Dragon Ball Z characters and things. He's done movies. I think he still does a little bit here and there, but he also went through the same thing of fighting copyright strikes. And if you, as a multi-million and billion-dollar corporation, if you skip past that first little intro, like, oh yeah, this is our intellectual property, we're going to just go ahead and claim that. You're going to end up in a similar situation as Warner Brothers when they copyrighted Wabbit Season by the parody content creator Meat Canyon, and YouTube actually agreed with Warner Brothers about what his content was, And I'm not gonna say fully what it delves into, but with Warner Brothers claiming Meat Canyon, Crispy, you know it because it's the really fucked up looking Bugs Bunny. If you know Meat Canyon, you know his stuff is extremely
Yes.
grotesque looking. But they definitely tarnished the image of one of the faces for Looney Tunes by just dropping the ball like that. Be-
I don't
because
know how
when you
I.
claim
I
something as your intellectual property, that means whatever is in this video is automatically added to your content. So with what they did to Bugs Bunny in Rabbit season, they took him from a lovable goofball to
oh God, I want to do his voice, but it's just like
I'm
I don't
not
know how
doing it
the
because
I
I don't
don't
want to get a
I
strike
just
either.
don't know how to go around with it because it's just too creepy. It's just like
It's he does unique content to say the least.
shit.
And like I said, if you've seen it, you've seen it. And if you know Rabbit season, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh
Because the
no.
next immediate thing after that Meat Canyon did was a tribute video saying like, "Oh, Warner Brothers got the legal copyright to my work." So that also means that Warner Brothers is acknowledging this dark secret that I fictitiously made up about this character because they're upset that I'm using it. But like I said, if it was me and I'm running some of these large animation and just production studios, I'm gonna watch this content. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. And unless they're doing something egregiously illegal, I'm not gonna do that because there to me the point of seeing content like that is watching what other people can do with well-known images
True.
and videos. And that's what the point of it is. Because nobody's tried to copyright strike Weird Al Yankovic.
I think he probably had one, but I don't think anybody really gets mad at him at all, really that much, unless you're an asshole.
It's Weird
Because
Al.
it's weird. Yeah, no, he
He's
does parodies with everything. Like,
and
come on
he's
now.
gonna do it regardless.
Best one's Jurassic Park or
No,
White and Nerdy.
the best one. No, the best one is Amish Paradise. Yeah.
I try to forget. Um, but
But
another person on YouTube that's another parody person on the creator on there is actually we're plugging so many YouTubers into this.
I mean,
Because that's how it is. Like this is the universe of the parody universe. Is Devil Artemis. He's actually connected. I last time I knew, it looks like he's connected to Team Four Star. He works with some of their voice actors to, or has these voice actors that are close to their voices that they use on Dragon Ball Bridge, and that he does the Cell series that he has out
mm-hmm.
there, and it's freaking hilarious. And he has a couple of things out there. I know what's it called? I think Team Four Star. No, actually, let me look back and see here because I was actually just looking at his page now because he just dropped a new episode. Um,
It
no,
was
this is some
Frieza and Cooler
bullshit.
having a brother's day.
Yeah, him arguing, but no, actually, Team Four Star dropped a thing. It's it's a rehab center for people that go to hell and stars Cell and Frieza and everybody. But this is a segue thing because of the two fitness ogres. They are the rehab like people there, the sponsors, and he's trying to make sure that these evil people become nice people so they can go to heaven or get sent back to Earth because there's no other place where they should go. So the whole time they live together. They it's a whole thing. It's definitely they're dating the whole time. They're having a whole thing, and it's just a whole. And then we have what's it called? King. Frieza's father is there, and he lives with them, and they have a hissy fit about him living with them because he's their manager now of all the stuff like this program. It's a whole big project. It's actually a pretty good little segue of the show, and it's not bad. And what's it called? Then you have what's it called? Our Devil Artemis has their little like I said, the Cell series. You get like Cell and Kermit and everybody else that they have on the show, and
Cell
then
versus Ugandan Knuckles.
oh no 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 I feel
They
bad for Cell, but and they even have their own little segue of like some kind of like little group that's Cell and like everybody else that doesn't have like that's not in like it's in their universe, but it's like they live in a like a house together and they just go on these stupid adventures. The stupid shit happens with them, and we get the oh no Zarbok. Zarbok is a gold mine with this guy. If it isn't Kermit or Cell, it's Zarbok because he's just oh no. If Jimmy's watching this, he loves Zarbok too much now. It's that little thing he does. Like it's just like he does this weird. I don't know how to describe it.
it's just a guttural grunt.
Yes, but it's sexualized and everything is just perfect. They took that character and this Team Four Star and Devil Artemis took that character and ran with it pretty well. God.
Oh man.
God. I'm not gonna lie. With jumping back to Dragon Ball's Bridge, watching the whole thing, I've been a like okay, Jerry. Before like we go down this rabbit hole, you told me when your favorite like I believe your favorite character is Piccolo, right? Or is it one? He's
Yes.
one of your top five.
Piccolo. Gohan's my favorite. Then it's Piccolo, and
Okay,
after him is Tien.
okay. So like for me, I Piccolo's in my top five also. But watching this Dragon Ball Z abridged, Piccolo became more of a favorite for me because he has so many good parts
All of his
and
lines
oh,
are so
all that.
memorable.
Like later on, you get to the point where we um Piccolo has Wi-Fi abilities and apps inside of his head.
He
Thanks to
does.
Nail figuring out because later on when we get to Namek, he absorbs Nail and Nail's in his head and he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm using the apps. I'm playing Tetris and shit." He's like, "I have apps." Yeah, you connected to the Wi-Fi. How am I connected to your antennas? I'm like, what the like, what the fuck is this shit? And it's just great. And later on, he gets Kami gets put in his head too because he absorbs Kami down the lineup. But it's just a ball. And then another good character, a character you wouldn't think they would really bring to light, but they do, but in such a menacing way.
I'm trying to think of
Mr. Popo.
oh yes, what they did with
Mr.
Mr. Popo.
Popo is priceless.
It's always been a long running Dragon Ball fan theory that Mr. Popo is like an extremely powerful being because of different, obviously on screen feats. Because, as Westerners, that's what a lot of people care about. But me, I only care about it when it's something that I think is interesting. But Mr. Popo, they made him out to be this.
Oh, he's a deity, man.
Yeah, that's
He's a
really the only
god.
way to explain it.
He's a
He's a god of the most
well.
epic proportions.
The wicked so behind the scenes of Mr. Popo of Team Four Star is a scene that they saw from the Boost saga where Goten and Trunks when they're kids are training and he's blocking and they just randomly attack him as Goten and he's blocking their blows and shit, and he's not getting phased. He's just doing it and everything. And they're supposed to be at like a top, like a freaking high tier power boost when they fuse. So everyone assumes that he's a more higher power, even above that. because he's blocking these attacks with like nothing.
From
So
children.
these children that should be like over 9,000 freaking power level shit. Mr. Popo should be at level like I don't even know technically in the series.
Infinity.
But after that happened, everybody took the ball with this theory and they just said, let's just do it. Let's make him something. And they just made him Infinity. That's like Jerry said. And Mr. Popo is scary as much as you can think of. And his
Yeah.
oh god. So the pecking order. Like, remember the pecking order.
We can't say all of that. I used to be able to. I can't do it anymore.
Oh god.
And I
Remember
used to
the
do his voice almost on par too.
I tried to, and I don't think I can do it right, but I'm gonna try.
No, don't do it. We're gonna get copyright strikes, and we can't
True.
fight Team Four
And he
Star.
does. Yeah, no, we can't fight them. But like, it just the pecking order is you, the dirt, the worms in the dirt, Mr. Popo's stool, Kami, Mr. Popo, and
Mr.
that's
Popo
it.
put himself above God.
Yeah, Kami's God in this universe until you meet other gods. Um, but yeah, no, Mr. Popo is a hands down top tier character in the Bridge Edition. If you, oh god, it's just any moment with, oh god, Kami ship, Popo, it just fucking goes. He's like, how did it just goes by your name? And he's like, yeah. He's like how'd you like get it to do that? He's like, it fears me. Like it knows who's like it's in control. If it's like
Mm-hmm.
anything like anything or any like buddy is scared of Mr. Popo. Oh god. Crone has nightmares.
Extreme nightmares. But
He's
just to wrap
always
up,
he always carries duct tape.
yes, he does.
Yeah. I'm scared of yeah, no. Mr. Popo is oof.
But just to
No.
wrap up, Dragon Ball Z Abridged. For me, obviously, this series is a 10 out of 10. Not only because it's something I watched as it released, so I saw the gradual evolution of the voice acting, things that they kind of messed up on getting improved, the production getting increased because the animation would get a lot cleaner. And then also just the fight and the struggles that they went through with YouTube being, and it still is in a lot of sense not the best thing when it comes to making content. But for what Team 4 Star has done for the parody community and also, oh God, excuse me,
Big
just
booty
sticking to your
baby doll.
guns and seeing something through all the way, that is just human. That is just the human spirit at its finest for me. And the fact that they have done so much and stemmed off of this old anime that people still can't get over and will claim this is the best thing since sliced bread. In my opinion, I have other animes I would put above Dragon Ball Z, but you have to respect, what Dragon Ball Z has done for not only anime in general, but also cartoons who have also incorporated parts of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z into it.
Yeah, it's a
I
staple now
always
in
recommend
life.
Team 4 Star to people. You want something crude and rude? Watch Hellsing Ultimate. If you want a long series that's gonna have you laughing your ass off, Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
I think Hellraiser that Hellraiser is like
Not Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. That other one I can't say. I'm not saying the name right now. I'm gonna tongue
Hellsing.
twist it. Yeah, thank you. I think that's even a funny watch myself. It's just what the fuck's happening. I do want to try to watch an original show, but I think I just got ruined by this abridged edition.
I will
God.
say, having watched the Abridged first and then the Ultimate and then the original for Hellsing Ultimate,
Hmm.
there are some things that still remain the same, but character personalities do differ a little bit.
Okay.
But still within the show, they still make fun of some things that the show kind of does, but it's
God.
not like I said in a very over the top manner. It literally is like in a moment they'll call out what's happening in the moment.
Oh God, no, he's just no. That show's crazy. Um. So before I go of mine, Big Booty Dandy, stop it. He's no, he Mr. Popo's on the kinky. Well, I don't know. No. um. So I'm with my rating. I'm gonna go with a 10 out of this one. With Dragon Ball Z the Bridge. I joined into this a little later because of all my friends telling me you gotta watch it. Yeah, it's a different experience. They wouldn't shut the hell up about freaking using what's it called phrases from the show and all this other stuff. So I'm just like, all right, screw it, why not? I'm gonna try it. End up watching it. I binged it.
It,
It's not hard to binge it. It's really easy. It flows right. The animation's not hard on your eyes. The editing was amazing with it. It's pretty good. It's not bad, and including if you're not into like anime and you just want to have a shits and giggles fun, Dragon Ball Bridge. Really, it's anime, but it's not anime at the same time in a way because it's just like there's goof around bullshitting. There's taking
it
clips.
really is just that. There's no like there is seriousness to it, but it will be during a serious moment.
Come on, muffin button.
I'll do you one better. Dodge, get out the way, get out the
Dodge. I just okay. Before we jump off to the next segment, and me finishing up my whatever I had my last words. Piccolo the whole time when Gohan's on the rock before he becomes a freaking giant freaking Saiyan ape. And you just hear him just like complaining how he's gonna get down. Climb down. If I can only make a just jump, climb down the mountain. Just in the background. You always just hear Piccolo randomly in the background whenever Gohan's on,
just yelling.
just yelling at him, "Dodge, dodge!" But no, like Team Four Star did take care of this series, helped with this franchise actually, bringing more fans and stuff, like doing their thing. They did great, including they continue on like Jerry said with the movies they had, and they're still continuing on with here and there Dragon Ball things, but they're using not Dragon Ball footage anymore, but they're using their own CGI characters with their voice actors still that still love Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball the series, and doing little here and there short stuff and collabing with other people with it. So it's not bad. They're not gonna jump off of Dragon Ball any like they're just gonna continue doing their own thing. They were fans asked for the Boo Saga and they fucking got it.
We've been
That was
asking
it.
for a very long time. We didn't get the BoJack movie, but they gave us Boo Saga as shorts, and I'll gladly take it.
Boo Saga, yeah, they did definitely shorten, like did a quick saga of it, but like it was still decent enough to work. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into the main segment, and I feel like that became a main segment.
We talked. I mean,
A lot.
there's a
Nick, you're
lot
getting your
that goes
wish.
into an OG parody
Yes.
series like that because you have to incorporate so many other original parody content that helped bring it to what level it got to.
Yeah, Nick, you're getting your wish. It looks like so. We're not trying.
Unless we
Um,
do it, we can wrap this up in 30 minutes.
I don't know.
40.
Okay, okay. This is probably like the longest one we ever did because we started a little too late on this one. But so the main segment is Dragon Ball Superhero. Well, Super Hero, but if you, it's stupid. The
It's
title,
Dragon Ball Superheroes. That's how I
yeah,
say it because
it's easier because if
it's
you look at the
easier.
title, because the title of it says the Dragon Ball Superheroes because it's the series is part of like yeah, the series of Dragon Ball is super, but they're adding superhero. It's dubbed oh no.
It's
It's not
redundant.
yeah, it hurts. You just sound stupid saying superheroes, and I just did that. Um so Okay, so in this one is Dragon Ball is Dragon Ball it takes place in the Dragon Ball Super Universe style setup, so it's in the future more of the storyline, and it doesn't really take place. It takes place after it looks like the whole was it competition and
Tournament of Power.
everything, tournament of power, and basically it's just Piccolo training Pan, Gohan's daughter, and discovering later on there is a old rival from Dragon Ball, the Red Ribbon company that came back to life and actually has been working behind the scenes and reconstructing the business. And they end up taking in a
Dr. Gero.
scientist, yeah, Dr. Gero, the grandson actually of a major big scientist from the earlier Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z series that made all the androids that throughout the series. And he what's it called? He ends up getting recruited into the Red Ribbon, getting tricked, thinking he's part of the good team, and he wants to make the like a superhero sorts of a person and make things work. I'm on! Steve, you're late, bitch! But Jerry, if he's there, bring him on in.
He's
But
not in.
no, he's not. Get out! So, yeah, so basically the whole movie is like discovering all this stuff happening. Piccolo ends up after Dr. Gero makes his first two androids, they end up discovering Piccolo and fighting Piccolo, and Piccolo ends up following this one android. Was it Android
Gamma.
2? Gamma 2. Gamma 1 and 2. Wow. They so Gamma 2 ends up he's the more cockier edition of the two, and Piccolo ends up following him back to the base and discovering that oh, this is a whole new thing, and discovers that the Red Ribbon Company is back. And Big Big Diddy, no, he's too late now. So he ends up discovering everything. So he's trying to bring back everybody to fight this big entity of the Red Ribbon Company, not knowing what they're getting themselves into. He just knows there is a big plan. They're trying to get a bigger project that will basically kill off the Z team, well, the Dragon Ball team of the universe. So he ends up trying getting Gohan. Gohan's too up and with his job. Krillin's a police officer. Goku and Vegeta are with Beerus and
Broly.
Whis and Broly actually training on Beatrice's planet he's on. And Whis won't enter his freaking staff to get them back here. So it ends up being just Piccolo and the B. I want to call them the B team because they're
The
more the
real
minor.
father and son team.
Yeah, well, true. But it's like it's more the B team because it's the minor characters coming in play and saving the day instead of actually bringing in Team A, and it's usually Goku and Vegeta to me, and they're usually the guys saving the day. Goku and Vegeta do not show up, so it's Android 18, Krillin, Goten, Goten, and
Trunks.
Gohan, Trunks, and Boma all going into this and just fighting off the actual giant big problem that they discover that is Cell Max, and that's the more improved pure edition of Cell. And Dr. Gero actually discovers that he is actually working for the evil villain and turns the tides of everything after realizing they did the whole plan of kidnapping Gohan's child and seeing what the hell is happening and witnessing getting new information from Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, discovering the information from what they're fighting, who the people are fighting with. And yeah, ends up getting to the point where they just beat the shit out of freaking Cell Max, and Gamma 2 ends up losing his life because he sacrificed himself to save the universe. So yeah, it's a big mess, and it's like Jerry said, this is the real father and son team in this movie. This is a real focused on Gohan and Piccolo
This
movie.
was my favorite movie.
I'm glad they did it, and I'm glad they did it this way. But it's just the animation style was the hardest thing to deal with a little bit because they went with the 3D style.
CGI.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, it wasn't that jarring because even though obviously 3D has CGI and animation has come a very, very long way, and
Hmm.
it looks a lot cleaner than what it used to. As I was watching, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of glad they did it like this because some of the textures for the color palettes that were used definitely fit the 3D style more,
Hmm.
especially when Piccolo got the Dragon Balls, wished for Shenron to make him stronger,
Oh god,
and
that looked great.
Shenron essentially said, "You still have a little bit of untapped power in the tank, and it's not going to be a lot, but it'll be enough that you'll see a noticeable difference."
Hmm.
Which was, Piccolo turning into his orange form, which, in my opinion, I it's very weird because when you look up information on Piccolo, obviously it comes up Demon King, Piccolo, Kami, and then also the original Namekian.
Hmm.
And things along that line get really weird because there's still not a lot of information about the original Namekian who came to Earth, made the Dragon Balls, and then also split himself into Demon King Piccolo and Kami, which is a very weird thing because only members of the Dragon Clan can do anything with Dragon Balls. But Demon King Piccolo and Piccolo obviously have a lot of traits of the Warrior Clan, which Nail was from on planet Namek, and they're more of the fighter based people who do a lot of the protecting. So I'm just wondering what more power did the original Namekian have that kind of got lost in translation but just showed up?
Well, I get what you're saying, but like it's like so Demon King Piccolo died, but gave birth to Piccolo because of
Yes.
he laid his egg. But like now technically freaking Piccolo is more of a clone as half of Demon King Piccolo. So he's like lesser of like he's just a copy and like that's lesser than him to me. So like it's weird because he's combining with Kami. So in my head, like he had like about 3/4 of completion
And
in
then he
my head.
also, synced with Nail, who was at the time, the strongest member of the Warrior Clan on
Yeah.
Namek.
So
So he's got another boost from that. So it was just weird for me because I've done a lot of digging into Piccolo, but I loved it because Piccolo has done something we have not seen him do since Dragon Ball, and that is turn into his giant form,
oh god,
which is
Krillin.
essentially their version of turning into a great ape. And boy, oh boy, I took our friend Latre to go watch this in IMAX, and I'm just fucking on the
Giddy.
inside. I'm just giddy with excitement because yes, 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 give Piccolo the justice he deserves. Because
Oh
if
god.
you are a Dragon Ball fan in any capacity, you know that Piccolo got sidelined hard after the Android 17 fight. I can prove to you in one video that Piccolo got sidelined the hardest out of every Z fighter.
This is gonna be another segue of another special episode where Jerry breaks down Piccolo.
I'm not gonna do it, but
Sure
I
you won't.
could.
We'll get you a whiteboard and everything.
But just to get back to my point, this movie did so many positives for me because it's like you said, at the end of the day, who's the one who's always there to kind of kill off the big threat? Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, Tien,
Hmm.
Android 18. Well, not Android 18. She's just 18 now because we found out that she still has human components. She's just a cyborg.
Yeah.
And so, all of them are just essentially background characters as we deal with essentially two multiverse ending threats, just doing whatever the hell they want. And the fact that not only did we get to see Piccolo get a big upgrade, we saw Gohan acknowledge the fact that, you know what? After Majin Buu, I did fall off and I fell off hard. And
Hmm.
we wouldn't be in this situation if I would have stuck to my training at the bare minimum. which is a very big point that a lot of people, even myself, make, that Gohan was his strongest when he did his training with Elder Kai to fight Super Buu, who was becoming a menace, absorbing people, becoming this freakish blob of a person. And as we saw, Gohan still has a lot of untapped potential left in the tank, because the official dub for his new form is the Beast, because of obviously with in Super, when he joined the team for Universe 7 to fight alongside Goku in the Tournament of Power, he said, I'm going to achieve what you did for Super Saiyan God in my own way, and I'm not going to follow your footsteps. And for me, I think that the his Beast transformation was essentially him following a Namekian path, because
Okay.
his ultimate move was Piccolo's Special Beam Cannon. And yes, we do know Saiyans can copy moves that they see for the first time.
It brought a tear to my
But it was
eye.
just the fact that, number one, Piccolo stayed the hardest on him, saying, Gohan, you need to come back out and train. Like, yes, Gohan did. But we also wanted to see Gohan be a good father and a good parent, which he was doing. He was working a steady job. He was doing his due diligence as a
Yep.
productive member of society. You can't fault him for what he
He
became.
quit being a Saiyan man. The great
He
Saiyan man.
he went through so much just hard fights and world and universe ending threats. He's like, you know what?
He was like,
I'm
how
hanging
old
this
was he
up.
was? How old was he when he defeated Cell? Like
It
10, 12? Like
12, 10, or he was under 13, because they call him Teen Gohan, but he's not really a teenager, because different cultures do age differently than we do.
Well, technically, he did use the time whatever the heck what's it called,
The
the
time chamber.
time chamber. Yeah, they
Yeah,
used
it's
that, so
it's
he aged
all
a couple
weird and stuff
years.
like that. But it just, and not only seeing Gohan and Piccolo get their comeback, also Krillin, Goten, and Gotenks.
Well,
Goten and Trunks turning
Goku
into
and
Gotenks.
Trunks, but they fucked up the fusion and
They
became
fucked it
fucking
up,
fat.
but the fact that they still are like, you know what? Let's turn into Gotenks. We basically tore a hole in the fabric of space time by yelling at it.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if they would have got the fusion dance right and they turned into a teenage version of Gotenks.
That'd be a
That would be,
nightmare.
honestly, that would be the most scary thing, not because of how powerful they will be, but it's how powerful they can go further.
True. And
Be
it's like, sorry, it's to cut you off, but like, it's kind of scary because like the the halfling quarterling of a Saiyan shows a lot more power potential when they're mixed with human, and it's kind of scary with it
it is.
because like at this point, because Pan's like she's a quarter Saiyan
Yeah, she's a quarter.
because Gohan is half Saiyan, so like and she's already showing like strength like potential at like three. Oh, was it 4 years old? No,
She's in
she's
preschool, so
three.
she's like
She's like
4 or
four. She's
5.
four. Yeah, so she's like rocking. She's like that young, and she's already pulling off potential like these like large like milestones already. She's already knowing how to fly. Her dad didn't learn how to fly until his later years because he didn't know what the hell he was because he was being sheltered by his mom, being telling him to be a freaking studious little bastard.
Which turned out to be good for him in the
True.
end, because honestly, seeing Krillin also as a police officer was so badass, in my opinion, because not only did he say, you know what, I'm too old for this, and I don't have the endurance to keep up with these freaky aliens anymore.
True.
Obviously everybody knows their own limits and potential. Krillin just realized his a lot sooner.
Yeah, he started realizing it more after I
After
think
Cell,
I think even after Frieza, after he got wrecked more than like in that one he got
after he got killed,
damaged. Yeah, he got fucked with that one.
after he
But
got imploded.
yeah. And then like Cell kind of definitely put a big damper into it too, because in the Boo series, Boo Saga, he's definitely already like threw up the whole like uniform. He was jumping in as a police officer and everything while he was like, what's it called? He ended up catching Gohan running around as the Great Saiyan Man, and he's like, "What are
Mhm.
you doing?" There was the whole gun scene too in that when he was like fighting the armed robbers. So
Yeah. It so much of this movie was essentially an ode to the fans who like the side characters and have
mhm.
been wanting and waiting for more. I hope that I don't know what this new series Dragon Ball Daima is going to turn into.
I haven't watched any
It
of it yet. I heard like it came out like now what was it, a few months back?
I don't know anything else about it outside of the name because for me, I'm Dragon Balled out. At
I hear you. God bless you.
Thank you. At this point in not even just my how old I am, but just how much new anime content there is. Like, yes, I understand that there are still series from the 70s and 80s still going on, even before that, that are holding records for longest running, whatever, top selling, whatever. That's great, and I'm happy that they're doing it because they're still influencing the new generation and showing them that, hey, if you put in the dedication and time with hard work, you can do great things.
Mm.
I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to start plugging in some of these just high tier 50,000 episode 30,000 chapter projects, but there are things who hold great longevity because of the buildup that they've done, the influence, as I said, they've had, but also just the fact people are still just so intertwined with it. But for me, Dragon Ball has just burned its fuse out, and it's done it for a long time now. If they wanted to stop doing the anime and just stick to doing the manga and doing video games for it, maybe an occasional movie, I think that'd be great.
True.
Dragon Ball has had its time. It came out in the 80s. It gave birth to, modern shonen and influenced so many other things, as I said previously in the Team Four Star part of the episode. Dragon Ball has nothing else to prove to people. And it's time for people to kind of let it go.
Yeah, I don't know. Dragon Ball didn't like his like basically. I would say yeah, Dragon Ball Z was it. That was like the downfall, not the downfall, the ending point. And then superhero Super came out, and it kind of unraveled more things. I seen like a lot of people talk about it. There's a lot of chapters out for it now. I think we're over 100 for it. I even think it's
I
almost
think we finally
200.
just hit 100.
Did you? I thought it was way more than that actually.
No, they don't release monthly. I think they do
Oh,
kind of
I thought there
whenever.
were way more. But I did look in the new series that's out, and it looks like it's like I hate to say it. I hate to fucking say it.
Is it
It's like
chibi like?
what?
Is it chibi like?
So like you remember Looney Tune, like baby Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
It's like that. So like all the characters are now children. So you're like
Nah.
child, like it's like I have to say like like Goku's baby Goku,
We've
then you got
already seen
baby
that.
Gohan, then you got baby Goten, and you got Trunks, and you got baby Vegeta, baby Bulma, like you even got freaking god,
We've already seen so much
Master
of that.
Roshi is baby formed now. He's young. He's like a little kid. Piccolo is little Dente style now. Yeah, so it's like weird.
We had that in Dragon Ball for some of these characters.
Dragon
And
Ball GT kind of did that.
yeah, I was gonna
And
say
they did
GT
that.
did that. Z did if the story from Z beginning to end showed us Gohan, Goten, Trunks, everyone else still being very young characters growing up. I don't need to see
Hmm.
that again. That's just a waste.
That's what it looks like. And I'm not gonna. Okay, so to get us back to like Dragon Ball Super Hero. Um, So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed like so GT's when they introduced Gohan's daughter Pan, and she was more in her
She
teens.
was a bitch.
Yes, and but she was in her teens and everything, and so I'm so used to like teen her. But then they brought her into this world with superhero. Brought her in this world as like more in like with superhero and everything. Not superhero, super. And then superhero came out. They have her as a more of a grown kid. And this grown this style of Pan's actually pretty nice. Actually, seeing her run around, and she kind of brings life to the thing. And like I hate to say it, this makes Goho like Piccolo's got like a grandfather and father in this universe to the Gohan family setup.
Hmm.
Because it's just a strange dynamic because Goku's never around and Piccolo's just there and he's just
He
training
houses
Pan.
has he has his house in the forest
Mhm.
with a phone that he doesn't want. Because
And the
that's
plushies
every
he doesn't
grandparent.
want.
He's like, look, stop. You can communicate telepathically with me. Stop calling me on this dumb little device.
And he's a nanny. Technically, he's also a nanny too. He's the grandparent that everyone trusts their kids with when they have too much work on their hands. Like, all right, dad or mom, I'm dropping the kid off with you. I'm sorry. I know you're not doing anything because you're retired. So here you go. Here's this kid. And that's basically how Piccolo is in this freaking movie. And until because he had to go pick was it freaking he had to go pick her up from freaking oh god, I love that.
Preschool,
That was
yeah.
yeah, it was preschool. And she was
And
like,
everybody was so scared, like, oh, and they were like, oh, Mr. Piccolo, are you here to pick up your granddaughter Pan? And he's like, yeah, where is she? And everybody's just so casual about
yeah, no one cares. It's Piccolo because he's always there picking up
it.
Pan. And like I love how they do a callback to when he does the driving episode in Dragon Ball Z. Remember, he never got his fucking license, so he can't
That's
drive the
right. He
freaking
can't
flying
drive a
car.
car.
So he can't fly the freaking the space shuttle either. So he ends up flying in through freaking the billboard.
I forgot.
Oh god, yeah. Because I remember at that time they Pop Funko dropped the whole the episode for driving, and it's Goku and Piccolo and Casual Wear going to go learn how to drive a car and get their license, and out of no Goku gets a license. Goku. Piccolo, the more responsible one, doesn't get the license.
Honestly, Piccolo is a very New York style driver. He should not be allowed behind the wheel.
I feel offended, but okay.
Crispy, what song were they playing for him? They were playing Ludacris's "Move." We all know what the song's lyrics are.
No, okay. But yeah, but no, I love how they call back to that. Um the whole I'm not the what's it called? I didn't to me it kind of had to grow on me with the whole was it Cell Max thing?
I didn't like it personally, just
It grew
because
on me, but it's eh.
I I thought Cell was a good villain because
Yes.
Cell gave everyone their time to shine. But I also hated Cell because he was the closest thing
The
they've
booty
ever
strap.
had to an immortal being.
True.
And for me, like, you had a hard time killing him, and you had to essentially destroy him on a cellular, not even cellular, on an atomic level, like Wolverine.
Mm.
And here you are bringing him back, and but making him more aggressive but stupid. So what is
Well,
the point of this?
they didn't
Well, they
mean to
didn't make him
bring
like
him
that.
back. That's the one thing that's kind of fuck you with this whole thing. They jumped the gun on Cell Max because the leader of the Red Ribbon Company right now, he just jumped the gun
He
and
was a petty bastard.
yeah, Dr. Drone is like literally saying he's not ready yet. He's still in incubating. He's still trying to like he's still getting to the completion. And he's like, no, we're releasing him now. And because he was losing the battle. The Gammas weren't doing good. Shit was hitting the fan, and his whole mansion area was getting wrecked.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing he was like dealing with was just getting destroyed. And he said, last result, let's drop it. Cell Max released, and he ends up dying because Dr. Drone has a secret little bee with poison in it that freaking sticks it and they can basically kill anything. Doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing,
It's
because
like
the
Night
leader
Sight.
of the was it the Red Ribbon Company actually modified his body with a skill with a metal alloy that's on the outside now to protect him from anything. Meanwhile, Doctor Drone actually has nanobites inside of his cell in his body that actually makes his body bulletproof. He doesn't have anything else with him. The cells actually work now to be more protection layer for just normal skin. You don't even have to worry about it. And and it acts as a de-ager too, because Boma's kind of curious with that one too at the end of this
Yes.
movie.
Oh my gosh.
But
It has de-aging properties.
do that what's it called, like the Red Ribbon Company leader was petty and bullshit. They sell Max too early, where he's still in dumb status. He has all the abilities, but he cannot function at
He's
all in
got
his
the
brain.
muscle without the brains.
Yeah,
He
and
was
I.
essentially just a big berserker at that point.
hmm But
Yeah.
like we
I
got
didn't
to the
think
point
about
where we
that.
end up getting like their super ability, like them doing their beast mode and orange piccolo mode. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Gohan do the freaking do the special beam cannon, I was kind of happy seeing him do that instead of a Kamehameha. I was like happy because I'm like, that's something different, including
It's something new. It's
new.
it's a
Yes,
breath of fresh air and
it's
something that's been stale.
something new. And if you notice, whenever he's around his dad, he uses the Kamehameha. He's around Piccolo dad, his real dad. If you talk about it, really, like he uses his ability to show respect towards him, including Piccolo's been his teacher and forever too. Like it's yeah, like I said, like father figure, teacher, and everything. So that's nice to have him do that instead of just doing a bullshit we've seen like 20,000 times that everybody uses.
Yes. I also think one of the biggest things I loved about superheroes is we've seen Gohan snap. That's nothing new. Saiyans snap because they're very emotional creatures, and some of their powers are linked to their emotions, which also goes into a whole another subject that I'm not going to even have time to explain. But seeing how when Gohan thought Piccolo died, he snapped in such a level that he elevated his mystic form to go to Beast.
Yes.
And while he was in Beast, it's in the name. He had enough raw power to to completely obliterate somebody who was about to end the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did he do that, because he thought Piccolo was dead, he also made that realization himself. Okay, I've been negligent, and what my real dad has been saying for a long time is true. I need to get back to the basics and start just keeping my body in peak physical condition, because it's not like Saiyans age rapidly; they age slow as crap.
Mm-hmm.
And even as a half Saiyan, Gohan, and people forget this, Gohan is a prince because Chi Chi is the daughter of the Ox King.
Yeah.
So with the Ox King marrying Chi Chi to Goku, Goku is now the king of the Ox. So Gohan is now the Ox Prince.
Yeah, but we
So
don't
in
get that.
essence, he still has, and we know Chi Chi's a very skilled martial artist as a
Mm-hmm.
normal human. Because I mean, you'd have to watch the end of Dragon Ball to really see it to know.
Well, she ends up being trained by her father. Like the I hate to talk about her costume in Dragon Ball. Let's not go there with her with that. A little
The
too much
martial arts
for that.
costume looked like Chun Li. That's what I'm
Well,
talking
no,
about.
but that's that part. But I'm
Yeah, that's
talking
what we're
about
talking about. We're not
when
talking
we
about
first.
anything else.
I know, but we first meet her though. Her father's trained her to fight though, because she's ready. Like she's in this gear to be a battle worthy like warrior and stuff. So she's been training since basically Gohan's age, the Goku's age, when he was like when he was a kid.
Big Booty Danny, we're not making any implications on the Ox King or the previous founder of the Ox Kings. You're fired.
I I do think. Well, if we're gonna be talking about the Ox King, um, I do feel like they dropped the ball on him and they made him too like shitty of a character now
You don't
because
see
he's
him.
no, you don't see him at all. He pops in randomly, and when he does pop in randomly, he's just freeloading. And because the fires of the Doc's Kingdom got too overwhelmed and like what's it called? His all of his money melted away because the gold and everything. It was like the way they explained it was just like what the fuck, and I'm like, fuck you. Okay, whatever. And like it's kind of weird. They just kind of made him more freeloady. Even in the games, he's kind of freeloading too.
I don't even remember much of the Ox King outside of the goggles and that. I think he had a giant axe or like a giant fan he could do stuff with.
No, they needed to get a giant fan to fan the
Yeah, yeah,
flame
yeah.
to get.
The fan, and then the fan ended up not working, and Roshi had to do the original Kamehameha wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now. It's
Don't you
slowly coming
report
back.
us, you're gonna lose your job.
Yeah, but another thing, and this is something that I completely forgot about in superheroes. We see, Gammas 1 and 2. Obviously, they're programmed bioorganic creatures,
Mhm.
but what they have a good sense of morality, so they know good from bad, and uh, wrong from evil. The biggest thing was this whole time they were Gamma 2, I think, was having the biggest moral quandary of, are these guys really what they say they are?
I would say, yeah, because Gamma, like, okay, so
Like
Gamma,
Gamma
like,
1 was kind of chill. He just did whatever. And
well,
Gamma 2, he's kind of the booster gold. He's the big show off.
he's always winging it. That was the thing. But like, Gamma 2's been there since the beginning of the movie because he was there when he fought Piccolo. Gamma 1 really didn't come in until later on, and he
Kind
was
of the
more
middle
straight
and
to the
end.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like he's more straight to the book, and this is how it's going. But he takes his time. He's more studious, and he takes time to like analyze what's happening. Where Gamma, like Jerry's saying, just jumps into action, does his thing without analyzing anything. But like he ended up putting two together at the end of the whole freaking storyline, though,
Yeah.
and he does get his character arc, and like it's. I thought it was they're gonna pull the bullshit move, and like he's still alive, but he ends up dying and fades away after he basically cracks Cell Max's freaking forehead open.
He went critical. And
Oh,
that
dude.
was Gamma 2 definitely had the better action sequence of the two Gammas. But I did like Gamma 1's style just because, he was reserved, and I usually like reserved characters more. Not that I dislike Gamma 2 in any
Mhm.
way, but Gamma 2, once he realized, okay, we have one shot at this, and, obviously when he told Gamma 1 the plan, he's trying to talk him out of it. He's like, that's what being a superhero is all about. You have to make the tough choice of the needs of the many over the needs of one.
Yeah.
And how he did it was so, I'm not gonna say it was just so poetic, because it was poetic in its own right, but it was also very textbook Superman to me,
Well, like,
because he went in just giving it his all. And we obviously, everybody knows Superman's gonna give his entire into everything he does.
mhm.
But with Gamma 2, he knew that for him to give everything, it would cost him his life. And he willingly accepted it all the way to the bitter end.
Oh, Gamma 2 went into fucking space to come down. Like he did pull a Superman move. He went up
Man.
and to come back down. But like the designs for Gamma 1 and 2, their designs are so like 1950s, just like clothing style, like what they're wearing for this too. So they're kind of like giving it like that old style superhero feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they like yeah, they had that old feel. Even though Gamma 2 was like the so like Gamma 1 was like the old guy on the like he's been the seasoned dude and just chilling on the side, kind of like I'll say like mentality. And then Gamma 2 was more the new kid on the block.
Booster
Like
Gold,
arrogant,
baby.
yeah. Like you said, like Booster Gold. Like he's just that those but like they're technically the brothers in a way. Like that's the difference between them. Like they have the two different mentalities of what they had to do. But, like, it was good. That was, like, the was it Doctor Jerome's, like, his idea of, like, was to build a superhero, and he built these 2 androids to be superheroes, and then he built a monstrosity that wasn't gonna be a superhero.
It was a threat.
It was a threat. It was like a doomsday. It was a doomsday. It was a
Yeah.
doomsday. It's in
It
this
was
case.
a doomsday with a dark side.
Yeah, he was a laser beam light show at one point. He did do that.
He did do that. That was cool.
That was Shin Godzilla shit too. Oh, Godzilla. But
Dun.
yeah, what else is inside this movie that's actually nice?
Man, there's so much more to dissect into this movie, but
Bulma's ass.
I don't want to take up too much time just because we do have, other business we need to handle as well
True.
here shortly. So if you're comfortable, I'm ready to go ahead and into my final thoughts and
Yeah,
review.
go for it. Do it up.
Easy 10. I know that I like to give out 10s very lucrative and very freely, but some things for me, for something to get a 10, it doesn't have to have rewatchability. For me, it has to leave a lasting impression. Because first and foremost, the fact that number one, this movie was very Gohan and Piccolo centered, and the fact that we got to see Goten, Trunks, 18, Krillin, we got to see Gotenks again, and the with Goku and Vegeta off being Goku and Vegeta, showing Broly what it means to train without losing your temper and keeping your power in check, but also seeing Vegeta do something that people have been joking about for a long time is, Goku's never beaten Vegeta in a fight ever.
I forgot to bring this up.
And this, once again, while just in a normal sparring session, we see Vegeta beat Goku. Which honestly, I do like seeing Goku lose from time to time because it helps keep the fact Goku's not invincible in check outside of the whole forever coming back. I'm not going to touch that because death is a joke in the Dragon Ball series. You can just come back to life for a little bit of nothing, and they'll insert a character who can make you come back to life.
But Jerry, like if you didn't look at the freaking like that scene like 100%, Goku does do that smile and do the smile. Like he could have maybe did like 2 more seconds, 3 more seconds of like fighting to win.
Oh yeah,
but it was just like he just like Vegeta win just for shits and giggles, like just to get it over with.
It's like people
It's like
say
a backhanded
Goku.
win.
It's like people say Goku is the power, but Vegeta is the talent.
Mm-hmm.
Or I might be remembering that wrong, but it's somewhere along those lines.
Okay, I would say like more Vegeta's the powerhouse, and then Goku's the talent because he's talented in many ways. Where Vegeta is just pure bronze and just building up his abilities, forcing himself to get better to keep up with Goku. And Goku is literally just a guy that just, oh, you can do that move? How'd you do it? Okay. Ha! Yeah, did it.
But this movie was, like I said before, great breath of fresh air. We got to see side characters come back. We got obviously new transformations for people who deserve them, and I hope it becomes a more prominent thing that we get to see more of the side characters getting their turn in the spotlight once again. But
Mhm.
also, just the fact that we got to see Gohan acknowledge the fact he fell off and he fell off hard. Even Piccolo was like, "You have time to do basic training. You're choosing not to." He did the classic dad thing. He's like, "You have all of this time and you have all of this spare energy. Put it to good use. Stop complaining about nothing because
Mhm.
this is your own fault. You're in this predicament."
And I couldn't wear the weighted clothing anymore either. He was like overburdened by it because he
God,
just
I'm so
got
glad they stopped that.
what?
The weighted clothing.
Well, they brought it back for the movie just to be like, "Hey, you got weak." Weighted clothing.
Yeah. But it's a fun movie. I definitely enjoyed the rewatch. I I know it's out on Blu-ray. I haven't bought it yet. I think I'll whenever Crunchyroll has a sale, I'll buy it.
Mm,
But it's just a great movie that lets you get the other side of the coin. That's not Goku and Vegeta.
true. And I'm gonna fall with Jerry with giving it 10 out of 10 also. I enjoyed it. I saw it twice in theaters. I ended up getting the Blu-ray set, but I'm kind of upset with
Did it
it
not come
because
with the vinyl?
no, I think well, it's not Blu-ray set. I just got well, it's the Blu-ray DVD mix thing. That's really it to combine. I didn't see a Blu-ray. Every single thing that I saw was like a box set for it wasn't real, or I got sketchy from the site of it, like where it was. And it
Yeesh.
had like really like good things. I had like little posters of characters and here and there stuff. And it came out to be like something too true to be true, like too good to be true and everything. And
Mhm.
like I went to Crunchy to see if it would be on there. They would verify. They didn't have it, so it kind of made it more
Mhm.
sketchier of me. Then I went to was it Sentai? They're another company that likes to sell off movies, more dub stuff and everything like that. And they didn't have it either. They just had the standard movie. And so I was like, all right, just getting the Blu-ray. So kind of upset we didn't have a real box set for that. I would actually put money out for that. And like me, I'm so used to 2D stuff. I kind of got used to the CGI stuff, and after a couple here and there watches, so it like grew on me. I wasn't overly like disgusted with it like my other friends were. I know some people try to nitpick with the freaking the animation for their mouse, and I'm like, don't you like it's Japanese first, English
Yeah.
second, so have fun. It's gonna be wonky anyway, so I
And
don't
we've
care.
seen worse CGI.
I know, true. Like, god damn, Love Live. Look at that show. I'm sorry, I had to
It's
put it
not
out
that
there.
bad.
I had to do it. But no, but like I grew up like well, like I keep mentioning I'm a Godzilla fan. Like I grew up with that old Japanese dubbing style
Mhm.
where the nothing really matches half the time, like three-fourths of the time. And like there it's just whatever. I'm so used to it, I don't care. Like it's just fun. It's a fun story, like Jerry said. They brought all these minor characters back into the fold, gave them the whole like this is your moment time, and we had a ball. The story wasn't horrible. We did get a reoccurrence with an old. They brought back an old enemy, but with a different style to him. But like whatever, whatever floats the boat. You know, I could have went with something new, but what would it be really other than why not just bring back Cell because he's one of the most popular villains that
Yeah.
people like. So why not? How many times are we gonna bring back freaking Frieza? Boo's
Frieza's an intricate part of the story now.
Boo's now a pushover. He just sleeps and does whatever. He did get buffed for 5 seconds, so I'm not gonna bitch and complain. They brought back Cell. Cell was part of like he's an android. He was part of like Dr. Jerome's stuff. No, so why not just bring him back again? You know?
Yeah.
It
And it was
works.
a good thing to see the Red Ribbon Army come back too.
I was actually surprised. I really didn't think we're gonna see them ever again, really.
I
Like
thought they were just, faded into whatever, shady business dealings they were doing
well,
selling
they got
drugs.
nuked. Well, they got nuked. They explained the the story about with them a little bit in the movie, but like they got nuked off existence
Mm-hmm.
and all this stuff, and like, but like I wouldn't say like they got nuked out of existence, but like it was just like whatever fucking happened, and they just came back. Technically, the grandfather, Doctor, turned up. I'm feeling I'm just screwing up his name half the time. Uh, oh wow,
Girl.
Dro.
Yeah, you've been
He
saying it right the whole time.
Joro, and he's just like whatever. He's like his grandfather was technically he was the Red Ribbon also. Well, we got him in the Android saga, well, Cell saga with the androids, and he was technically still wasn't he still rocking out the Red Ribbon hat and stuff?
Yeah, he still had the red ribbon, like
So
like monocle, like not monocle, but
symbol,
logos.
logo. So like he kind of kept it a little bit alive. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for me. I'm good. So, Jerry, your picks are next, isn't it?
Yes, but that might switch up just because of the business meeting we have to attend. But I'm gonna announce them anyway, and if something shifts around, my picks will still be my picks.
Okay.
So I'm going to have Crispy watch Mega Man Battle Network Warriors
God.
episodes 1 and 2. They're on YouTube on, I think, Capcom's YouTube page or Crunchyroll Dub's YouTube page. They have the whole series on there. I just got to
God.
find
All
it and
right,
send it to
Mega
you.
Man. I haven't watched that in forever.
And then for the movie, we will be watching Astro Boy.
Then wait, hold on. Astro Boy, the new
Astro Boy.
Astro Boy.
I need to find the exact year for the movie I'm thinking of because I know there is the new one.
Yeah,
Well,
because there's a
it's not
few.
new, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's
Like
the
it
more
was the last
newest one that
theatrical
came out.
release.
But like that came out, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, I believe. But
Yeah.
like then there's another one,
Then
the
there's
other ones
another
that
one. I
came
need
out
to
like
make sure I get
late.
the right movie for what I'm
Okay.
trying to what I'm
God,
looking for.
Astro Boy and Mega Man. Wow, and there's there's cyborgs. Aren't they cyborgs?
Mega
Is
Man is
he
Mega Man's weird. There's a reason I picked Mega Man, but Astro Boy,
is the
I've
android?
watched a little bit of it and I don't remember a whole lot just because I was really young when I saw it.
I want to say he's android.
But I think he's an android. If he's not an
He's just
android,
android,
he's
and then Mega
either
Man's
an
a
android or
cyborg.
100% robot.
Hmm. We're just going down this path.
We're getting
I started
futuristic
it
for
off.
a reason.
I started off with androids. He's
There's a
taking it
reason
further.
that I'm picking this, and it'll make sense.
Help me. Well, no, you actually started off with freaking what's it called? What's it called?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. And then I just went down this path after a freaking one special guest moment. And then yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm Superman's pal Matt, and this is
I'm Jerry, guiding you all with Green Lantern's light, and we're becoming a dynamic duo, one special at a time.
yes.
Good night.